long two. Doesn't find its way home. It is a 5-3 game with 16 and 40 to play. Wheaton with a 2-point advantage. DeLizio drives left, finds Hackett down low. Hackett, a beautiful spin move. No good there. Out of frustration, chases after the rebound. He's going to get a foul.
Maybe a little frustration there. He made a great move. A bunny for him there. Would love to see that go early, but again, be careful off those misses. You know, frustration does come out when you miss the little shots like that.
The freshman's going to check in for Behrend. Elquam Polium played sparing minutes in last night's game. Smith to Peters. Peters gets the quick double team. Yeah. He feeds Berg. Berg, the charge down the lane. And it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Berg off his knee.
Saw the double down, as you mentioned, Casey. Watch out for that tonight, too. Right as Peters catches the ball, they're looking to trap. Leaves a guy open. So, again, we'll see the utilization of Peters' court awareness for sure.
Okay. DeLizio to Hackett. Hackett off a handoff. Dribbles right around the perimeter. He's going to find Knoll. Knoll to Pulliam. Battle going on down low between Knoll and Berg. 3-point attempt is off the mark by Wallace, but it is rebounded by Hackett. And that's a 3-point attempt that we're not used to seeing out of Wallace. He doesn't shoot it a ton from three.
No. But again, you see the 6'7" body of Hackett getting that offensive board, keeping this possession alive. Oh.
Hackett swings to Pulliam. It is off the hands of Pulliam. It's going to be Wheaton ball. We have our very first media timeout. It is a Wheaton College lead of 2 points at 5-3. 15 and 40 to play. Thank you.
At Hope, it's about challenging your mind. Hope. Learn it, love it, live it.
And we're back for some more action after the first media timeout. Wheaton with a 2-point advantage over Penn State Behrend. We have a few substitutions on both ends. Throughout this game, we are going to see DeMoss check in, the 6-foot junior for Wheaton. Looking to inbound.
You got to watch out for who Smith is guarding. Peter Smith, the Wheaton defender. He's a lockdown defensive man. He guarded Julian Strickland last night of Rose Holman, a guy who's about 23 points per game. And I just really like Smith's effort, both offensively and especially defensively, on a stud player like Strickland. So whoever he's matching up against, man, you're not going to have much space with Smith in your grill.
You see Behrend stepping into a 2-3 zone.
2-3 zone, good for shooters if they can move the ball.
There's Tischer who swings to Smith. In and out to Peters. Back out. And there's the turnover. Tipped by Pulliam. He gets the ball to Wallace and then to DeLizio. And that's another thing we talked about. Behrend, this is an incredible defensive team, but largely due to the fact that they give so much effort on the defensive end. They don't score the ball a ton, but I mean, they hold opponents to a relatively low field goal percentage and not many points.
Yeah, under 60 points per game, like we said, and a 39 field goal percentage for their opponents, 39%.
Yeah, they're willing to give it up on the defensive end. That ball is thrown around inside, tipped and recovered by Smith for Wheaton. It is Peters to lead the charge. He's going to stop, pop for three. No. Rebounded by DeLizio.
Got to get a hand up there. He's got that 6'4" frame. He can get that shot off easy.
DeLizio swings to Pulliam. Pulliam to Knoll. Show Wheaton last night, not statistically their best defensive season, but last night posing all sorts of problems for Ross Holman.
Real. Held him to 57 points. That's a good night.
Hackett, the spinning hook shot is no good. It is rebounded by Tischer. Tischer's going to take the advantage. He dribbles right into the hands of Keith Wallace. Keith Wallace on the 2-on-1 fast break. He's going to swing the pass to DeLizio. DeLizio layup is no good. Tipped out of bounds by Hackett. It's going to be Wheaton ball.
Great collapse there by Wallace on defense. He saw Tischer in a little trouble and came over and helped his defensive partner, and there he gets the steal. Great looking pass, but not the finish the Lions were looking for.
Nolan DeLizio check out. For them, it will be Wes Davik and Casey Cornine back into the game. Davik's first minutes of the night.
You see Fisher here with the ball coming in for Tischer on the Wheaton side. He saw some good minutes last night against Rose-Hulman.
Haynes down low. 2-point attempt is good. And you're right, James, that is going to be an interesting matchup. Haynes, not a huge body, but full with tons of strength.
Yeah, Haynes, like we said last night, double-double machine. He can give you 10 and 10 on any given night. And that's a great post move that we just saw.
It's Wallace around the horn to Cornine. Cornine to Pulliam. Back to Wallace. Behrend working the ball around the perimeter. It's a high ball screen. Swings to Pulliam. Pulliam for three. No. Rebounded. There it is by Haynes, right on cue. It is a lead for Wheaton at 7-3 with 13 and 3 to play. Smith down the lane. Layup is no good. It might have been blocked there. Recovered by Pulliam. Pulliam to Cornine. Cornine to lead the break. Swings to Wallace. Wallace pump fake. 12-footer. That one's good.
Pretty pump fake. One dribble. Up and good from Wallace. And he's getting his shot up here. You know, that's his now 4th attempt. First couple points for him.
Peters gets that double team again. He swings to Fisher. Fisher for three, and nothing but nylon.
Nothing but net, and there it is. Peters looking for his teammates, kicking it out from the right side to the left wing. Fisher with a great looking three.
Yeah, with Peters, he's got 5 points, a couple from the charity stripe, but maybe a game for him where he's not going to be relied on as heavily to score with that double team early and often.
Sure, and he had 5 points early and first assist there, but again, yeah, if he gets doubled down like that, watch out, that perimeter's open.
Pulliam doing a little isolation move by himself, layup. He's going to catch no part of the rim. Peters to lead the break. Peters is going to go all the way by himself. The layup, the hang, deliver, and it's good.
Look at him lead the break, too. He's got all the tools that you want in a team leader. Coast to coast in a matter of seconds, up and in. He's got 7 now for the Thunder.
Cornine from deep. He finds Hackett down low. Hackett, layup is good.
Great awareness by Cornine, the senior from Quaker Valley High School. Finds his man Hackett.
It's Peters to slow down the tempo. Both teams liking to stay in that half-court offense, although Wheaton has been able to get in the transition game. DeMoss finds Haynes. Haynes is going to back down.
Here we go again.
A good spin move is blocked by Hackett. Might have been touched by him last too.
See, that's just a fun matchup down there. Haynes got him earlier, but Hackett doesn't back down, gets a block shot on the big 6'6" body of Nate Haynes. And again, something to watch for tonight.
We have a 4-point Wheaton lead with 11 and 8 to play here in the first half. James, I really do like that matchup, Hackett. I mean, the 6'7", but I got to believe that wingspan's close to 6'8", 6'9", maybe even 6'10".
Yeah, no doubt. And again, we talk about 6'6", 218 coming at you from Haynes on the Wheaton side, and the senior from Normal Community. He's going to have that battle. I mean, Hackett, 6'7", sophomore, just 2 years of experience here, Brookville, Pennsylvania native. And again, that's one to keep your eye on. And look at here, I mean, Peters, he's got as many points now as Penn State Behrend, 7. He's got 7 of Wheaton's 11, 2 of 4, a couple free throws made already. And if you're Penn State Behrend, just be patient on the offensive end. We just saw Cornine hook up with Hackett, a beautiful dish down low. Just play your game. Giving up 11 here in the first 9 minutes, but just be patient. Look for your game. And they're going to have that balanced scoring. I mean, I see it happening already.
Out of the timeout, it's going to be Wheaton ball.
10 on the shot clock here, too.
As they lead by 4. Into the game for Wheaton is going to be number 31, Joel Smith. His first action of the night. He's going to come in. He's going to have to face the defensive specialist, Zane Hackett. Fisher to Tischer.
Good little rhyme there.
Yeah.
Fisher to Tischer.
4, 3, 2. He's going to drive the lane. Layup is no good. There is a foul. As we're going to see Peters, he's going to go to the bench in place of Tischer, and that's what we talked about last night. When ironic that this happens, you know, when Peters goes to the bench, Tischer decides to take over. And that's exactly what happened. The first 10 seconds into this timeout, it is Tischer right to the line after a drive to the basket.
How about Tischer? I didn't even notice this last night. 89% from the line on the season. But the rare miss there might have jinxed him a little bit. Holy cow. But coming into this game, 135 of 151. Now out of 152, but wow. Almost close to 90% on the season, and he gets a lot of attempts too.
Tyler Peters to check back into the game for DeVos. I'll be interested to see who runs the point from here between Tischer and Peters.
Mm-hmm.
It is Cornine, top of the key.
Look for DeLizio to get free too. He's the leading scorer on this Lions squad at 13 per game.
Swings to Davik. Davik into Skelly. Skelly finds contact, keeps his pivot foot with 10 on the clock. You find DeLizio. DeLizio to drive. The kick to Cornine, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds by Tischer.
Saw the swarming defense there from the Thunder. Again, great movement, great talk. Tischer gets a hand on it, just can't quite pick it up before it rolls out of bounds. Watch out for this out of bounds plane too. I'm looking at DeLizio. There he is.
DeLizio with 5 on the shot clock. He decides a long 2. That's going to catch nothing but the air. It is rebounded by Smith. Smith to Peters. Peters, this is where he likes to score early. Off a fast break to Fisher. Back to Berg, down low. Here's the...
Watch the double. Almost a triple coming out.
Berg. The long 2. That's nothing but net.
That's a great looking stroke too. The sophomore from Midwest Central in Illinois. 6'6". He's got a good looking stroke for a big man.
Now you have to question if you're Penn State, you know, is that worth the double team? As he's been, that's I think Peters' second assist, but he's able to not be threatened by as he tips the ball out of bounds. He's not being able to be threatened or pressured by that press much as he's able to see over it with his height.
Able to see over it, and he's not panicking. He knows the double team's going to crash down on him. But again, his patience, his awareness, just this all-around game is suitable to find that open teammate. And you see Berg knock one down. You saw Fisher earlier with the 3. He's just got a great passing game too that kind of goes unnoticed.
Knowles in for Davik. Knoll at the top of the key, picks up his dribble, finds Skelly. Skelly swings to Wallace. It is tipped out of bounds by Peters again.
How many deflections have we already seen from the Thunder defense?
A ton.
They fly around at you.
Skelly with 5 on the shot clock. He's going to attack the lane. The layup is no good. It rims out.
Just head down, see what you can get up there with the shot clock running down.
Tischer drives in the lane. Scoop. Layup is good.
Great control. Got hit a little bit, but saw an opening. Got the ball right where he wanted to.
We're at a 9-point Wheaton lead. 9:15 to go in the first half. And Penn State Behrend is going to have to find some sort of offense. This is a huge possession.
Yeah, again, who do you go to for your scoring? I mean, you have 4 guys, like we said, at 10 plus points per game.
Berg follows Skelly down low.
Yep, Skelly gets fouled. He's going to the line.
Well, to watch this offense, though they are swinging the ball, moving the ball well, a lot of it is swinging without looking up at the hoop and looking up and giving themselves a chance to either dribble or shoot it.
Right, without much planning, it seems like just pass and move, but got to find that opening. And again, who are we going to give the ball to get this lead back to 5 and under? As we see Skelly here miss a free throw.
His second one is good. I wouldn't mind to see Behrend maybe start a little full court pressure, a full court man-to-man. This is a defensive unit that loves to run around.
They do.
Letting Wheaton dictate the offense right now. It is Tischer. The 2-point attempt is no good. He is fouled by DeLizio on the shot.
By the way he shot last night, I have to believe that was a foul there. I just don't think Tischer would miss that badly.
Yeah.
Had to get altered somehow, and he got hit on the hand there.
Tischer, the exceptional free throw shooter. He goes to the line. The first one is good.
I'm wondering, in case, like with a crowd like we have tonight, very sparse, just pockets of people in random spots in the field house, and just how pumped up you can get as a team. It's a second round matchup. I mean, winner of this goes to the Sweet 16. That's big time, but how excited can you get in front of such a small crowd? Right. But sure, the nerves are still pumping, and you got the hometown folk, you got your family here, still got people to play in front of, and that's what you need.
Absolutely. Cornine and Behrend with a 10-point deficit. 8:35 to go. Cornine's going to throw it out of bounds, but it was tipped by Tischer.
Again, Tischer, 3 or 4 deflections already. He's very active on the defensive end right now. Wow.
There it is again. You'd think
There's so many passes.
Yeah, if Peters, Tischer, if they were able to get more than just a tip on this, they could really blow this lead wide open.
No doubt. I mean, you get clean steal here. That's a wide open transition game. Easy 2 on the other end.
Skelly picks up the ball, top of the key with 10 seconds to go. And there it is. Peters gets a full hand out of it.
6
it
on
is
shot.
Recovered by Penn State. Pulliam for 3.
There you go.
And there it is, the freshman for 3. Brings the lead down to 7. Maybe the spark that this Behrend team needs.
Yes. Get that from your freshman, Strong Vincent High School, Erie, Pennsylvania. That's a big shot for him right there. Cut the lead, cut the deficit to 7.
There it is. Wallace stripped Peters. Peters collects it though. Gets it to Tischer. Tischer, crossover dribble. Looking to attack, finds Bird. Ball's gonna be tipped out of bounds by Pulliam. Yeah, that's what you want to see. Pulliam and Wallace, 2 of the quicker, more athletic defenders that on the court right now for Behrend, and that's what we saw when they were playing Hope College. They were able to bother point guards, bother in really getting in control, get inside the passing lane, deflect passes, a lot of steals. That's a second or third tip that we've seen by Wallace where he's almost got to the point where he's completely maintained possession and got out of it. If they can only hang on to those balls. This game, I mean, very, very early, only a 7-point deficit.
Exactly. And you like that. I mean, Peters got great hand on that ball. Almost looked like he was going to get a breakaway. But again, you corral it, your guard corrals it, finds Pulliam for the, and that's, I mean, just a little transition like that. The defense, the Wheaton defense gets dismantled a little bit, and you find an open shooter on the right wing. Pulliam connects, capitalizes on that opportunity.
Peters breaks from the huddle as well as the rest of the Wheaton unit. They're going to be able to inbound the ball from out of bounds after a tip pass. 7:48 to go, a 7-point Wheaton lead.
How about this stat case? Penn State Behrend, when leading at the half this year, 22-0. So you're down 7 here. You got 7:48 to play in the first half. But man, if you can tie this up or take the lead, I don't know. That's an important stat to look at. They were tied with Hope College last night, 35 apiece going into the half, and they just get that 1-point lead or more. 22-0 says the stats.
Yeah, and I would like to see. It is Peters off the inbound. I would really like to see as Peters attacks, ball's tipped out of bounds, active defense by Wallace. I would love to see this Penn State Behrend, team allow their wing players, their guards, to get better looks at shots. As like I said earlier, they're not really taking the time to do so. Smith launches from the short corner. It is no good. Rebounded by Pulliam. Pulliam's going to lead the break, bring this tempo up a little bit. He finds Wallace. Wallace looks inside. Knoll to Scully. Scully, finds Haynes, meets him with a block. Might have got a little bit of body there as Haynes looks a little upset. It's going to send Scully to the line.
Here it is again. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of contact on the right arm.
But that's what we like to see. Behrend getting shot attempts early in the shot clock, not allowing that Wheaton defense to get set.
Exactly. And that's what you want to do against this Wheaton defense, who we know is on a defensive high after defeating Illinois Wesleyan, holding Wesleyan, a very strong offensive team, to 66 points in the CCIW championship game.
Well, I think that's a good point that Wheaton, they're hot defensively as of late, but a few weeks before, I believe they gave up 94 points to that same Illinois Wesleyan team. This is a defense that statistically hasn't been their best defensive season, but you can't let them get into that confidence and that mindset.
Right. Yeah, 97 points given up to Illinois Wesleyan on February 22. since then.
Haynes attacks
There you go.
and uses his body well. Gets inside, a layup is good. The lead back up to 8 with 7 to play.
Haynes with 4 points, 3 rebounds now. Again, good body control underneath, going against big bodies of Skelly.
Wallace, the pull-up jumper is good. He's been very good this last game and including this game at shooting off the dribble, creating for himself.
Yeah, seriously, the move there, the stop and pop, just it's hard as a defender because you expect the drive all the way to the hoop, but he stops so quickly and rises up with great form too.
William bothers DeMoss. Ball's gonna be thrown out of bounds. They're gonna have a hold call on Skelly. So we're more than likely gonna see Hackett come check in for him.
Right, 6 fouls now on the Lions of Penn State Behrend compared to just 2 on the Wheaton Thunder.
Yeah. Michael Berg checks in the game for Smith. I'd like to see maybe Peters come off a screen off the inbound play. He is the inbounder. Just Tischer to drive. Drive and kick to DeMoss. DeMoss, uncontested 2-point bucket is good from 15 feet. Lead up to 8.
Good cut to the ball. Looked like Tischer was in trouble there, but his teammate DeMoss comes to his rescue. Nothing but net shot.
Wallace on the left side, drives middle. It is that same
pull-up,
step-back jumper that Wallace is making a living off of tonight.
That release is just so quick, too. It's hard to get a good contest on Wallace's shot.
You'd love to see Penn State with a defensive stand here at least. Oh, another foul, man. Oh, no, that's going to be offensive on Haynes. Illegal screen they're going to give him with. That's a huge possession for Penn State. Yeah, we got under 6 to play at 5:42. 6-point game. Let's see if Penn State can get this within maybe 1 possession or a 4-point game.
No doubt.
Coleman, you think you got to go to Wallace here, right? At least for a look.
Heat check. He looked for him there.
Hackett to Pulliam. Pulliam to Cornine. Cornine being locked up by Smith after his first 3-point attempt. Hasn't scored since. Wallace hands off to Cornine. Cornine gets a screen. Man. Shot attempt is up and no good. He's going to be fouled, but man, I mean, Cornine came off a couple of screens there, and it's Smith right in his hip pocket. You're right, man. Defensive specialist, and then some maybe. Here, look at how tightly he's defended. Works well, and you know he stayed put. I don't know if he necessarily went into the offensive player, but he did get a body there.
It looked like, yeah, Cornine drew the contact there, put his body into Smith's. Here you go. You got a solid. Oh, he's at 70% on the season, so doesn't shoot the free throws that much, just 33 attempts coming into the NCAA tournament.
He makes good of both. And here it is, a 4-point game, 5 minutes to go. Penn State Behrend showing a little bit of energy and some more life. We have a huge size differential matchup between Peters and Pulliam on the other end. Tischer drives the lane, and it is blocked. On the other end by Hackett, it's going to be Wallace. Wallace from left to right. He's going to be fouled. Here we are, just a giant change of momentum, a change of tide right now. It's all Penn State at this point.
2 quick fouls, too, on Smith. That's his second on Peter Smith.
Yeah, that could be huge, allowing maybe a substitute to come in here.
Yeah.
Maybe freeing up Cornine. It is Fisher to check in for Smith. And I don't know if you're Coach Schauer, I don't know if you can be upset with Smith's play. That's very active, very tight defense. And unfortunately, a few times here and there, especially on a fast break, that you're going to get that called.
Exactly. I like the defensive effort. I do. It's unfortunate for Smith to have to go to the bench with 2 fouls with just under 5 to play in the first half here.
It's a 2-point game. Wheaton still in control. Peters off the double team. There he is again, finding the open man off the double team. He gets the ball to Tischer. Tischer being bothered by Pulliam. Goes inside. Ball is tipped and recovered by Pulliam. Pulliam on the break. The long skip pass is going to be picked off by Fisher. Fisher on the other end. Here we go, folks. Up-tempo pace. It is a screen by Haynes. Fisher gets a double. He's going to go back to another screen.
Look for Haynes down low.
Haynes doing his work on Hackett. He goes baseline, finds a three-point attempt by Peters. It is no good, tipped out. It's going to be Wallace, a one-on-one fast break. Gonna get his body in on it. Layup is no good as he tries to draw contact on Tischer. Tischer stays home.
Maybe a bit of a force by Wallace, but that tip went right into his hands for the transition game.
Peters swings to Fisher. Fisher to Tischer. Tischer for three. Yes!
Flash down.
There it is. Three more. A 5-point Wheaton advantage. 3:40 to play here in the first half.
Where's he from, Casey?
I believe that man is from Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois. My birthplace. Represent Tischer. Free ball. That was a great ball movement, too.
Is Cornine in the corner. He's going to drive baseline. A sweet pass to Hackett. Hackett out to Pulliam. Pulliam to Knoll. Back to Cornine with 10 on the shot clock. He's going to decide against the screen. Dribble with 8, 7. Attack left. 6, 5. The layup is good.
Great adjustment in the air by Cornine. Drops it down into his right hand.
And that's what we said. Smith checks out. Cornine maybe getting available.
Yes. Look at that.
Pulliam on the defensive end. Berg swings to Fisher. Fisher down low. Peters. Peters finds Berg. Berg, the 18-footer, just inside. And it is good. Two more for Berg.
And another assist for Peters. Allows Berg to get set. And that's 6. Yeah, and the 6'6" sophomore again. He'll nail that if he's wide open.
Pulliam drives the lane. He's going to get a foul call on the ground. I think for Penn State, you know, that's got to be one of the last times you try and double Peters, as he showed twice in that possession him getting over the double team, finding the open man, and obviously with a double team you're going to have one man wide open.
Right, 3 assists. He's got 7 points to go. That's Peters.
We have a 5-point Wheaton advantage with 2:40 to play. We'll be right back here with some more action after the break.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
We are back here in DeVos Fieldhouse. I'm Casey Rutledge. Alongside me is James Rogers with 2:40 to play in the first half. It's a Wheaton Thunder 5-point advantage, but not the first. It's been a tale of 2 halves in this first half. It was started Wheaton with a strong offensive performance and defensive for that matter the first 10 minutes of the game, but it's been Penn State being able to corral their players, kind of getting all on the same page. Offense working slowly but surely.
Yes. And you said earlier, Case, I mean, early on it did look like Wheaton could have broken it open a little bit, take that double-digit lead. But I like the defensive effort that just stepped up for the Lions of Penn State Behrend. And they were getting a lot of hands-on balls, got some good steals in transition. And they're in this 5-point deficit. Here we go. They got the ball.
And that defensive effort is led by Pulliam, as he's normally, you know, picks up the ball carrier. And I think Wallace too. It is a 3-point attempt by Pulliam. That's going to be in and out. But I think, I mean, when those two apply so much pressure, you know, a lot of times the guards trying to get the ball out of their hands are finding down low, and that's where you run into players like Noel Hackett, you know, and Skelly, and they're supreme shot blockers.
They are.
Fisher, the long 3 is no good.
A lethal trio down low for Penn State.
Pulliam gets a signal from Coach Nyland. Just under 2 minutes to play. Got a 5-point deficit. It's Wallace, the stutter step. He gets into the lane, forces the ball into Hackett. It's going to be tipped and controlled by Peters. Peters electing not to run the fast break. Gets the ball into the half court. The shooting guard, but very comfortable at the point guard position. Runs around there out right-hand side. Shot attempt is no good. Tipped and controlled by Hackett. Oh, it is Cornine. Fumbles the ball, but gets it to Wallace. Wallace back to Cornine.
Nyland calling up another play for Cornine here.
Hackett gets the ball, looks for Cornine.
Wow.
Cornine, the 3-point attempt. Yeah, that's going to fall. And so does he.
May have gotten hit too.
Yeah.
Wow, Fisher right in his face, but splash down city for Cornine.
A timeout's going to be called by Wheaton. James, that's what you talked about. They're 22-0. This Penn State Behrend team, 22-0 when leading at the half.
Yeah.
They've got the ball down, or the game down to a 1-possession deficit.
Yep.
2 points, 1:04 to go. How important is it for them to at least get a tie, or get a chance at a lead going into halftime?
Well, a tie too. I mean, they're 2-0, I believe, on the season, tying at the half, so nothing crazy. But again, if they take this lead, I mean, it's a matter of a 3-point ball. That's the threat of the three-pointer. Get a steal here, get a shot up before your shot clock violation happens, and you could take a lead here. But again, it's the defensive effort here. You like to see this Lion defense step up, and I'm sure Coach Nyland in the huddle there said, hey, let's hold them here, get a stop, and let's tie this game up or take the lead.
Yep. The defense for Behrend turning up the pressure a little bit. It's Cornine on Fisher. Fisher to Berg with 20 seconds on the shot clock. They get the ball in down low to Peters. Peters, that's that shot block again, that shot blocking ability. A supreme for Hackett. Hackett swats it away.
6'7" with length. Tough to get an easy floater off him.
Yeah, even with one of the taller guards in Peters. They mix up here. Peters guarded by Wallace, the double team down low. Peters finds his way out of it. 2-point attempt, no good. Knoll, a big one-handed rebound.
Peters still stuck on 7 points now, just 2 of 9 from the field. He's gone cold after starting off scoring 7 early.
There's a 3.5-second differential between shot and game clock. Behrend, William gets a high screen from Hackett, swings to Cornine. Cornine with 15 on the shot clock, goes down low to Hackett. Hackett, the spin move, layup, no good. It is Berg with it with 10 on the shot clock. Berg to find Peters. Peters with 10, 9. He's going to get across the timeline with 7, 6. He's looking for a screen by Haynes. 5, drives right, 4, 3. The three-point attempt by Peters. No. It is rebounded by Knoll, and we are going to have a score at the half of Wheaton College 27, Penn State Behrend 25.
We got a game here, Case. I mean, Penn State Behrend doesn't back down, doesn't let up after going down by 7 or 8 early. They got this game within 2. And again, we look at Peters, now 2 of 10. I'm surprised he got that shot off over the length of Hackett. I thought Hackett was going to go for another block. But again, we got Cornine with 10 for Penn State Behrend, Wallace with 8. They combined for 18 of the Lions' 25 first half points. And it was interesting, DeLizio, their leading scorer, on the bench for quite a bit of the latter half of that first half. It's interesting to see if he'll come out and make an impact.
Well, yeah, and that says a lot about this team, a team that's right now offensively led a little bit by Wallace, but it's going to be important to get a guy like DeLizio back into the game, and you see Cornine slowly starting to work back his shot. I think this team erased a 10-point, what was at the largest a 10-point deficit, and I think they have a good shot at getting back into this game.
They do. And who else is?
We're going to send it. Yeah, we're going to send it over to our partner in crime in just a minute, Will DeBoer. But until then, yeah, we look at the three-point attempt by Behrend. They're just shooting 3 of 7, but it was, I think, 2 of their last 3 that fell, them slowly getting hot.
Mm-hmm.
Neither team really turning the ball over, but that could be due to their slow offensive tempo.
Right.
Very reserved. But yeah, we are here going to send it over to Will DeBoer with a sideline report.
No. I'm on? All right. Welcome to Halftime at Hope, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Will DeBoer, and I'm going to interview parents from each team today. So we're going to start with Penn State Behrend and Miss Tricia Skelly, the mother of Shane Skelly. Tricia, thanks for joining me today, and welcome to Holland.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Now, your son, what do you think drew him to play basketball at Penn State Behrend?
Well, we're most impressed about, well, Penn State has a wonderful reputation with their academics, but Coach Nyland, actually, when we went up to do our tour, Coach Nyland was always, it's not a basketball team, it's a, a basketball program, it's not a basketball player, he's a student athlete. So Coach Nyland was always about the academics first. We were really impressed with that.
Sure. Now, it's not uncommon for players at a branch campus like Behrend to move on to State College, to full-fledged Penn State University after a few years But your son's a senior. What do you think made him decide to stay and finish up 4 years at Behrend?
Because he's majoring in international business, and that program is housed at Behrend. So he would have to stay there. So that's where he's at.
Very nice. And of course, Erie, Pennsylvania, where Behrend is one of the snowy cities in America, so you've probably survived your fair share of bad weather. Do you have a horror story in particular of travel?
We've come up to see quite a few games, but a few years ago we came to see a game, and on the way back the snowstorm was horrible. It took us about 4.5 hours to get home. So now we kind of, really watch the weather pretty closely when we come up. But a majority of the parents come from the Pittsburgh area, and they make it up through the weather much better than we do. So.
Yeah. Well, we here in Holland, Michigan can empathize with the snowy weather.
Yeah.
Tricia Skelly, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'll be back in a few seconds with our next parent. I'm back with my second parent from Behrend. This is Casey Carneen, the father of another Casey Carneen. Of course, yours is a nickname and his is a given name, that's right?
That's correct, yes.
All right, well, Casey, your son is also a senior at Behrend. What do you think stood out about him that made him decide to play basketball for the Lions?
Well, he actually started at a different school, transferred as a sophomore, and kind of like Tricia said, we were impressed not only with the school, we're talking about Penn State University, one of the largest universities in the world, but Coach Nyland is a fabulous person. He stresses education, he makes the kids work for their spots, and once they work for that spot, he's true to them. I have a lot of respect for Coach Nyland. I think everybody on our squad does, and the kids really do enjoy playing for him. They have a lot of respect for him also. And so I think that, besides the fact that Penn State's a fabulous school, having the opportunity to play basketball for Penn State Behrend has been a real plus, at least in our family.
For sure, and your son has played, and he plays well. He hit a couple clutch free throws down the stretch in the victory against Hope yesterday. Has he always been able to perform well under pressure like that?
Yes, he seems to be able to handle the pressure. I think he enjoys it. I think he scored maybe 10 points in the first, the first half of this game. With a couple of threes and some more free throws, so he kind of rises to the occasion, when the opportunity is there.
Absolutely, and of course the clutch situation is one of the things that makes a college basketball player. At one point, did you realize that my son could really become a college basketball player?
As he played in high school, played on different AAU squads, he's always been a good shooter. And Coach Nyland likes to run plays to be able to reinforce the three-point shot. So he seemed to fit in nicely, with the program here, and all the way through high school. He's always been a good shooter, good scorer.
For sure. Casey, thanks for joining me today.
Very good. Thanks very much.
Yep, Casey Carneen, and we'll be back with the Wheaton parents right after this. And I'm back. This is Mr. Jody Peters. He's the father of Tyler Peters on the Wheaton team. Jody, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, not a problem. Glad to do it.
Yep. Now, you guys are originally from Ohio. What drew you to Wheaton College in specific as opposed to a liberal arts school in Ohio?
Well, Tyler really did not want to go to school in Ohio. He was looking for a very strong academic school. He really was interested in trying to find a place that had a really solid Division III basketball program. And I think the thing that really tipped it off for him was that Wheaton College is a really strong Christian college, and I think that really had the whole package of what he was looking for.
For sure. Now, I looked at your schedule and saw that in order to get into this tournament, Wheaton ended up beating Illinois Wesleyan, who they lost to twice in the season. What was it like to see your son and his team overcome that specific hurdle and get into the big dance?
I'll tell you, it was a tremendous accomplishment for our guys because it's one of those things that you played them tough twice during the regular season, but we lost to them in 2 really close games, and we lost to them on senior night, and then that next weekend we had to come back and go to their floor and had a tough game versus Augustana on Friday, and then we got to play Illinois Wesleyan in the championship game of the conference tournament. But we really put it together and just had an outstanding, unbelievable game. It was just a really great way to kind of finish off the regular season for our guys, and especially for our seniors, because we've had a tough time over there at Illinois Wesleyan, beating them, because they've got a great program, one of the best in the country.
Now, your son, a very good basketball player in his own right. Do you have a favorite memory growing up, playing basketball with your son and realizing, hey, he could really go somewhere?
Well, I knew from the time that he was a little squirt that he was unbelievably competitive. Wants to win in everything, and I have great memories just seeing him come up through the ranks. But I actually was his high school coach.
Oh,
I'm a former head high school basketball coach and coached him for 4 years in high school, and so I think that just the whole story of our lives, surrounding basketball has been something that has really brought us closer together, and really saddened here as we're kind of getting close to the end of his college career, because the game's been really, really good to us as a family.
Coming to an end, but not at the end yet.
That's correct.
Jody, thank you for joining me this evening.
Oh, no problem.
All right,
Glad to do it.
Yep, and we'll be right back with a couple more. And now I'm back with Leah DeMoss. She is the girlfriend of Tyler Peters on the basketball team. Leah, thanks for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Now, you have quite the athletic skill in your own right. You're an All-American soccer player at Wheaton College, which soccer at Wheaton is just about as big as basketball, probably bigger. So could you talk about that program for a little while?
Yeah, it's a great program. I love my coach. I love the girls I play with. It's been an honor to play for Wheaton, so I love it.
Now, you originally were at a different school, right? Somewhere in Iowa?
Yes, I went to the University of Iowa for 2 years and then transferred to Wheaton.
What do you think, what drew you to attend Wheaton after going to Iowa for those first couple of years?
I wanted to attend a Christian school, and I just love the atmosphere Wheaton had in the community, so yeah.
Now, you and Tyler, have quite the athletic couple. Do you ever get the sense on campus that you're sort of royals, as Lord would describe you?
No, I'm just really lucky to be dating someone like Tyler. He's a fantastic athlete, and it just happened to be that we both really like each other, so yeah.
Yeah, well, like each other, it helps out a lot. All right, Leah DeMoss, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, and we'll be right back with one more right after this. I'm back with my final interview of the evening. This is Tom Dykstra. He's a former Wheaton College basketball player whose father played at Hope and whose son played at Calvin, and whose son-in-law is now the coach at Millikan University. Tom, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I love this game of basketball, and the Wheaton kids are looking good. We hope they do a little bit better, though, the second half.
Now, of course, you were a former Wheaton College basketball player. Did your team make the big tournament when you were at school?
We didn't even have a Division III. We were more of a division that they called a small college. At any rate, we wouldn't have been good enough to make it.
Of course, your father was a Hope player, and your son is a Calvin player. Was that quite the awkward conversation when your son announced, to his granddad, "Hey, I'm going to play for Calvin, the rival"?
It was more of a shock to me because the year before he had stated that he was going to go to Wheaton, and so I was all set for him to say Wheaton, but Calvin worked out real good for him. He won a national title while they were there and had a great experience.
Of course, Calvin's last national championship in 2000, your son was there for that. What was it like to watch your son reach the pinnacle of Division III college basketball?
That was great. That's what everybody plays for, and for him to have an opportunity to play with such great players was really just a wonderful thing for me as a parent.
Tom, unfortunately, we have to get back to game action, but thank you so much. I have the feeling I could spend hours just talking to you about all your stories. So, Tom, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Tom Dykstra, and that'll do it for my interviews here. I'm Will DeBoer, sending it back to Casey and Jimmer for the second half call. Guys?
Thank you very much, Will. And we are back here for the second half action. We have a 2-point Wheaton College lead. James, what stands out to you coming out of the half?
Well, what stands out to me here on Penn State Behrend side, DeLizio, their leading scoreless at the half here, and they're down 2. And I mentioned the stat earlier in the first half. They're 22-0 when leading at the half. When trailing at the half, they're 0-4. So not too pretty if you look at that statistic for Penn State Behrend, but again, it's a 2-point game. We got 20 minutes of full basketball left. On the Wheaton side, Peters got hot early. He scored 7 in about the first 5 minutes or so, and he's still at 7 right now. But again, he's patient on the block. He's getting double teamed a lot. He's got 3 assists. And then you got Tischer leading the way in the scoring column for the Thunder at 8. So look out for his shot. He'll still look to get his in the second half. But again, a good defensive effort, on pace for 54-50, which is holding the team under 60 is tough to do. And I'm ready for a rip-roaring 20 minutes of b-ball up ahead of us.
Yeah, it's been a defensive, grinded-out battle between both teams. A lot of big-man action on the defensive end. It's interesting. Haynes, I believe, for Wheaton. What is he at?
Haynes is at 4 points.
Yeah.
4 rebounds, though. Tied with Berg. And, tied with Berg for the team lead. 4 rebounds at the half. And then, on the Behrend side, you got Hackett. Again, another big body. He's got 4 blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, his presence has been known. And like I said, that final shot that Peters got up over him to end the half. Peters didn't make it, but still good contest by Hackett that altered the shot. Almost Hackett's 5th block. And he's got 4 boards to go along with that.
And we are back as both teams break from the huddle. It's going to be Behrend to get the ball, first possession of the second half. And James, we look at talking about the scoreless DeLizio.
Yeah.
I don't know, he didn't appear to get in foul trouble necessarily. He just had that 1 foul. Oh, no, excuse me, he did have 2 fouls.
Okay, he did.
Yeah, but I mean, the first, they both coming right away, right, one after another, and that's going to be, why we found him on the bench. I did think we would see a little bit of him late in the first half, but we decided against that. There's going to be Skelly, who with the missed 2-point attempt. We also didn't see much of him in the first half. Behrend has been working with mainly 3 starters playing.
Right. Skelly 7 minutes. DeLizio just 9 in the first half.
Yeah. We did see Pulliam play. He played a lot of minutes, 14 minutes in the first half. Had a good output. He played tremendous defense.
Look at Wallace here. Oh, wide open Tischer. Get him all 3 of that.
You know he's going to hit that. He's 89% from the free throw line, but I got to believe with uncontested from 3, he's probably just about that same percentage.
Oh, my goodness. I would have to say that. And you do not want to give a shooter like him an open look like that. 38% from three-point land, which is a good mark.
That little hop after he hit the 3, right? It was in the air. That's kind of a Sammy Sosa hop after he knows that ball's going out of the park. You'd like to think that's the same way. It's that shooter's release, that confidence that, right when that one's up, it's going to go.
Oh, yeah. He's got a season past the three-point land.
Yeah. going to be Cornine with 17 on the shot clock. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Wheaton. Cornine to inbound. He's looking for DeLizio. DeLizio,
there you go.
The long two is up, and that is no good.
Just
Rebounded
off.
by Haynes.
Yeah, when you play only 9 minutes in that first half, you don't find a rhythm really at all. And so him coming out of the locker room, just a little short on that shot, but still look for it if you're DeLizio.
Berg to Haynes. Haynes to Tischer. With 15 on the shot clock, Wheaton works it around the horn. It's going to be Peters. The right-hand scoop hand layup in traffic, baseline move. You can go ahead and count that one. It's a 7-point lead.
Great drive around the quick Wallace, and that is just a good finish here. He had, I believe it was Skelly converging on two, but Peters up and in for his 8th and 9th point.
DeLizio to Wallace. Cornine. Skelly the handoff. Back to Wallace. Wallace decides against the three-point attempt.
I thought he'd let that one fly.
Cornine gets into the lane. The floater, no good. Skelly, the tip up and in.
How about the soft hands too?
Yeah, looked like he wanted to hammer that one home.
He did. Oh wow, just the perfect amount of force on that tip to let it drop right in.
Berg bothered by Knoll in the corner. Smith, who we saw in the foul trouble late, checked out of the second half. I mean, the second half of the first half, excuse me. But he's back in the game now. Swing to Peters. Peters gets Wallace on the pump fake. He's going to drive, gets double team, skips to Bird. Bird, the long two.
Wow.
Good. He didn't shoot it a ton in the first half, but when he did, he made it count.
Man, he's got that great looking side shot. I mean, just right corner, left corner, baseline shot. He's got great potential here, that sophomore.
Wallace gets the handoff from DeLizio. Back to DeLizio. Finds Skelly. Skelly, he's going to get a foul on Berg. It was Berg coming over the help side defense as Skelly got away from Knoll there.
Right, try to double down.
Haynes. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that double team with the receiver having his back towards the defender.
Exactly. Penn State Behrend here, look for a bucket. Don't let Wheaton get up 9 or 10 early in the second half here.
DeLizio to Knoll. To Wallace with 24. Gets a handoff by DeLizio. They're really trying to work DeLizio into this offense. Get his legs under him. Wallace to break down Smith. He gets a screen left. Checks it back right. Another screen. He's going to go around the corner. Oh, a beautiful pass down to Knoll. Knoll can't hang on to it.
Just couldn't quite handle it.
That was it could have been a huge possession. Bring it down to a 5-point lead, but instead it's turned over. It is Peters. One thing with this Wheaton offense is, and you see Peters run the offense at the point guard most of the time. DeMoss in there, here and there, and Tischer every once in a while leading the point guard. But this team is so patient and so, I mean, really, to say it, they're very slow offensively. Not in a bad way, but they're just very.
They work the shot clock, that's for sure. Trying to get the most out of every possession. There's Berg again.
Berg, it is no good. Tipped out by Haynes.
He just flies everywhere. Again, the hops that he has and the length that he has, and he times that tip right for Tischer. Go right into his hands.
Peters drives baseline. He finds Haynes. Haynes, the big fella, up off his feet. He slams it home.
Throw it down, big man, and another phenomenal dish.
You know, if we're being honest, I'm a little surprised with that. I didn't know the big fella could rise like that. He's only 6'6". He carries some decent weight, but he just really got up to the rim.
And he did, with authority.
Yeah. Hung on and swung around for a little bit. It was Wallace, the step back two. No good. We're going to get Hackett in for Skelly. And a timeout. Media timeout here in DeVos Fieldhouse. We have a Wheaton Thunder lead of 9 with 15 and 28 to play.
How about the dunk, too? It puts Wheaton up 9, and that's big. Almost double-digit lead now.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things. Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III in athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
We're back here with 15A and 28 to play. We talked about the momentum swing that was for Wheaton with the hammer by Haynes.
I was just saying that before we went to the break. A dunk like that to get the Wheaton crowd behind the bench on their feet, get the team pumped up on the bench. High fives all around, and again, you're at a 9-point lead now if you're Wheaton, and if you're Penn State here, Penn State Behrend. I mean, I think you want to try and get it to Wallace, or, I mean, Wallace he's at 8 points. You got Cornine with 10. Try and get DeLizio hot some way too, just a layup or free throws to let him see the ball go through the hoop.
DeLizio's got to be frustrated right now. Limited minutes in the first half, but even in the second half being well defended and frustrated as Behrend drops into a 2-3 zone. We saw this a little bit in the first half as Wheaton was able to pick their way out of it, shoot their way out of it.
All right, switch it up on the Wheaton offense. Give him some trouble. Oh, there you go.
Oh, no,
Shooter.
Tischer for 3.
Oh, my God.
Yep, count it. That's pure by Braden Tischer.
1, 2, 3. All for Tischer, and again, the 2-3 zone, I said it earlier, that's a shooter zone. If you move the ball around like that, you're going to get some wide open looks, and you don't want to give Tischer the 3-point deadly threat, some open looks.
It's Hackett down low, swings to Scully. Scully, ball's tipped. It's going to be Peters who cuffs the ball. The layup no good, and it's Haynes there. The rebound, the putback, the double-double machine.
That's why you run the court right there. You got to help your teammate out. You don't know if Peters is going to finish that, so you have two guys just hustling right on his back, and Haynes gets the putback.
Well,
another rebound for him, too.
Look at Haynes, the workhorse. And you look at,
oh
my gosh. Pin Skelly's shot off the backboard. It's going to be Behrend running the other way.
Peter slides right into one of our cameras.
Wow.
Again, what a block. I mean, I love those when it smashes against the backboard like that, and it's basically just a free steal for him, too.
James, you look at this Wheaton offense, you have to love the play, obviously, by the stud Tyler Peters, and you have to love the effort by Haynes as he's a stat stuffer. But man, oh man, I love the play out of Braden Tischer. This guy understands his role completely, and sometimes his role is just to do the do-everything guy. A shooter like him, he totally gets when he needs to shoot it, when it's best to pass. This guy has phenomenal basketball IQ.
Oh, no doubt. His handles, we talked about that yesterday in the first round game. Just the poise he has.
And so for someone who isn't scoring a ton all the time for this team, but yet he's so consistent when he does shoot it. It is Smith for 3, and no good. The tip by Haynes, the rebound by Hackett. And that can be tough for a player who's not asked to score every game, but to be able to have that shooter's mentality and that kind of fundamental nature to remember a stroke and to nail it.
Right. And he kind of gets hidden behind Peters, a guy who's averaging 20 points, Peters that is. But Tischer, I mean, he is at 15 points per game, so he'll get his buckets. Here we go.
It's Cornine for 3 on the other end. That is no good. It is rebounded by Tischer. Push out of bounds. A foul on Cornine. We're seeing a 4-point Wheaton advantage. 13 and 36 to go. I mean, a couple buckets here by Wheaton, and that could be, the backbreaker here, a huge possession. We've seen the energy completely deflated on Penn State Behrend's end. What do they have to do to stay active and get a chance back at this game?
A defensive stop. I mean, Smith missed the 3 on the last possession for Wheaton, but got to capitalize it if you're Penn State Behrend on the offensive end.
Smith skips to Berg. Berg to Peters. Hackett denying the pass down low.
There it is.
Peters swings to Smith. Smith.
Wow.
3 more. And everything's falling here for the Thunder in the second half.
There you go. Peter Smith all the way from Arizona. Desert Mountain High. Oh, he'll take all 3 of those and give his team a 17-point lead.
Timeout for Penn State Behrend. Coach Nyland not happy here as he's trying to figure out what he can do to bring his team back in here.
Holy cow. The power of the 3 ball, as we said before. Yeah. How many is that now? That's 5 of 10. They're shooting 50% from 3-point land. Wow, your Coach Schauer, of course you'll take that. Anyone's going to take that on the team. Yeah.
Man, it's Penn State Behrend. Their backs against the wall. 12 and 58 to go.
You still have 13 minutes to go. Your Penn State Behrend, try and get a score here on this possession. This possession's big because you don't want that lead to creep even closer to 20. You do not want that, especially when you have Tischer, who's at 14. You don't even have the stud Peters in double figure set, and you never know when he can go off. But again, he's got, oh, look at that case, 7 assists for Peters. He's got 9.7 assists. Seeing his all-around game on display.
Coach Schauer certainly wasn't exaggerating when he said the do-it-all senior.
No doubt.
This guy's led Wheaton the whole way, even if it isn't his scoring, maybe his rebounding, his assists, his senior leadership.
I'd like to see Wallace here on the Penn State Behrend side get free a little bit. I mean, we saw his stop and pop game, his quick release, unbelievably quick release. I think he should get a couple shots up here soon.
Hackett gets the ball from Cornine to DeLizio. DeLizio to set up the offense. Cornine around the horn, finds Wallace. Wallace defended by Smith. Shakes right, goes left, gets in the lane, and he's going to be fouled while he's airborne.
Here you go, force the action. Going to the line for 2, where he's been solid. I mean, he's just been there once, and he's 2 for 2. The chance for Wallace to get into double figures here.
Wallace's first attempt is good. Cornine's going to check out of the game for Penn State. And Berg for Wheaton in is Alquan Polium, the freshman guard. Caleb DeMoss for Wheaton.
And DeLizio on Penn State Behrend's side, he's still at just 2 fouls. I mean, he hasn't gotten a foul yet in the second half, so he's got to be aggressive.
Yep.
This lead is 15 now for the Thunder, so if you're DeLizio, you're a 13-point-per-game man, you're a leader of this team. Be aggressive, show what you're made of here in the last 12 and a half to play.
It's been interesting the way Tischer shot is no good, the way that he has been limited. I mean, he is not getting touches at all outside from being 30 feet from the back of the basket at the top of the key. You'd like to see him come off some ball screens, off ball screens, backdoor cuts, anything. He's got to start working to get open if he wants to extend his season any further.
Oh, yeah.
DeLizio finds Hackett down low off the pump fake 3.
Oh.
We're going to get a block and a body call on Haynes. Haynes a little upset. James, you might have been upset too.
Haynes will pick up a second there, yeah. I mean, just the way Haynes just jumps around, but he jumps with control. It's not just aimless flying around. He has purpose behind it. And again, we have
Hackett makes good
Hackett at the line. Yep. DeLizio still looking to find his first points. Just crazy. 28 minutes into this game.
Hackett makes them both. 13-point deficit for Penn State Behrend. For Wheaton, it's Peters to bring the ball up court. He finds Tischer. Tischer says no to the 3 ball. Swings to Haynes. Haynes to Moss to Smith. Smith with 15 on the shot clock. 11:50 on the game clock.
Good denial by Wallace here on Peters.
Smith, the long 2 is no good. Is rebounded by Wallace.
See what the Lions can do here. 3 ball, there's 3.
DeLizio, no, tries to start something of his own.
Yeah, that's big. If that goes down, 10-point game.
Tischer drives coast to coast.
Oh,
Circus layup is cuffed. No good, but he is fouled by DeLizio. That's going to be DeLizio's 3rd. But at this point, I don't expect him, as we see here on the replay. He got him there with the arm across the body. I would be surprised to see him check out, to see him get subbed out. I mean, he's got 2 fouls to give, or 1 foul to give, 2 to foul out, 11 minutes to go, but what are you saving him for, you know?
Right, what are you saving him for? You got 11 and a half to go. And if you get a guy like him hot, that's going to be huge for the Lions. Again, we said he's scoreless. Find an open shot, just see the ball go through the rim. That's going to be important.
13-point Wheaton advantage, and a team that has showed such poise this season. They do have 8 losses, but I think 2 of those coming from Illinois Wesleyan, who's a title contender this year. I think they're in the top 5 in the nation. And we've seen a couple of games they lost in Grand Rapids to Calvin Christian. Calvin College.
Calvin College, right.
You know, that was really their only double-digit loss. They had a couple losses by 1, by 2, and 3. So this team is a team that stays in control, stay poised, and is never out of a game.
Right. They've been in overtime games 3 times this season. And again, they're a team, I got to believe, probably the best 8-team loss in the country. I haven't looked at the whole bracket. I haven't studied the other teams too in depth, but I gotta believe that at 8-loss team like Wheaton, they gotta be one of the best with that many.
No kidding. Well, it's tough when you're in the same conference as a team like Illinois Wesleyan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw
CCIW is very competitive.
Yeah, and when we saw here 2 years ago, in DeVos Fieldhouse in Holland, Michigan, home of the Hope College Flying Dutchman, we saw Hope College lose to Illinois Wesleyan 2 years ago when we were the #1 team in the nation. Double overtime loss by a score of 109 to 102, I believe. But
crazy game.
Illinois Wesleyan, a team that's been there before.
If you're Wheaton here, you don't want to just let up on the gas. You want to try and bury him deep here.
Hackett blocks Haynes, his 5th of the night. You look, there's possessions like that where Behrend looks so defensively sound. Hackett really make it tough for anyone to score, and you wonder, what happens on their mental lapses defensively. We're gonna have a hold here on Peters.
Yeah. That's just his first of the night, though. Here you go again. Cut it to 11, cut it to 10. Keep chipping away.
Pulliam.
Like to see Pulliam get a little loose here, too.
Yeah, he had a couple threes in the first half. He's going to drive right, kick to Wallace. Wallace, the step-in shot.
Oh.
No, Caleb DeMoss with the rebound. He looks to push and brings it back. Swings over to Tischer. Tischer against the three-pointer. Going to get a screen by Berg. He's going to look for Peters. Peters, three-point attempt was an option. He goes against it. Tischer for 3. Pump fake, no. Gets in the lane. Drive, swing, left-hand layup, no good. Haynes gets the rebound, no good. Peters the offensive rebound. Peters again the offensive rebound. One more time, Peters the offensive rebound, and the layup is good. And that's just unacceptable. Penn State Behrend, you can't allow that to happen. 4 or 5 offensive rebounds on one possession.
Goodness gracious, you cannot. You're at 10 minutes to go here. Peters, I don't know when you get 3 or 4 boards there. We'll have the live stats updated for us. But holy smokes. I mean, that's a way to get closer to a triple-double, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Delizio guarded by Peters. Skip pass to Hackett. Hackett tips it out of bounds. See Hackett shaking his head. 9:54 to go. Down by 15.
How about Haynes? Haynes just checked out, but again, we mentioned pregame and first half, he's a double-double machine. He's got 8 points and 9 boards for the Thunder.
It is Peters guarded by Wallace. He finds DeMoss. DeMoss looks down low to Tischer. Tischer to Smith around the horn. They're milking the clock. The clock is their friend. Joel Smith checks out the game for Wheaton. It is DeMoss for 3. Yes! DeMoss adding to the lead. A big shot by him, his 5th point of the night. Is an 18-point lead for Wheaton. Really puts a huge disadvantage to Penn State Behrend. How much more of this can they take?
3-ball DeMoss toss from deep land, and that's huge. I mean, that's an 18-point cushion now for the Thunder.
Hackett swings to Delizio. Delizio, the 3-point attempt is tipped. It's kind of been the same story for him all night, not being able to even breathe on the offensive end. DeMoss.
Wow.
Wow, DeMoss leads the break all by himself, goes into 2 defenders. The left-hand scoop layup is good. The lead is 20.
Pretty.
It's been interesting. DeMoss, haven't seen a ton of playing time as Penn State Behrend takes a timeout. At least these last 2 games here for DeMoss. Hasn't seen a ton of playing time, but I think that's largely due to the fact that Peters has been running the point guard a lot for this Wheaton team, but DeMoss can do it. He's played a lot this season, but I mean, he shoots the ball well.
52% from 3, holy cow. One of your leading 3-point shooters, and again, he's a junior out of Chester, New Jersey, and you like to see that production from a guy who's coming back for another year, and 5 huge points there to give Wheaton a 20-point lead, as you can see, with 8:48 to go in this game.
And I'm surprised, maybe partially due to the fact that they haven't been completely tested here by Penn State, but I'm surprised you haven't seen Peters move to the 2-guard, 3-guard action and let DeMoss run a little bit of the offense. He gives them more depth. He gives them a great shooting ability, and I really like the few minutes that he's played tonight. I really like the way that he kind of controls the offense.
I do too. I really do. And he's another guy, like you said, off the bench that can come in, make a big impact for a team who who has that. It seems they have that depth on the bench. How much does it get used every game? I'm not exactly sure, but man, you got, I mean, you look at this team. Look who's out on the court now for Wheaton. 4 guys I'm looking at that can bring the ball up with confidence and set this offense up.
Absolutely.
That's a threat.
Yeah. Part of the reason as to why they are up by 20. It is Cornine to check the ball into Skelly.
You got more than a high school quarter left here. You got to think in segments like that if you're Penn State Behrend. Get on a little run.
Skelly spins once, spins again. Layup is no good. And this Penn State offense just can't find a break.
Good lockdown D by Joel Smith.
For Peters, DeVos running around. Gets the ball. Another three-point attempt by him. Can he stay hot? No, off front rim. It is rebounded by Delizio. He runs into Tischer. Tischer finds the ball on the ground, and he's going to take a timeout.
Again, his intelligence right there. Tischer calling the timeout. He knows he's in trouble. But make that signal for a timeout. Ref will hear it. Ref will see it. You got 20-point lead here, and you're going to get the ball out of this timeout.
We talked about the defensive ability of Penn State Behrend. What's that? What do you see happening that they've given up 51 points already?
Yeah, and you got 8:17 to play. Penn State Behrend's been holding opponents to 58 points per this whole season, and I'd like to see a stat when they give up 60 or more, what their record is, but it's just not usual for the Lions to do that.
They haven't been able to get into much of any full court pressure. They have been in and out of a zone as Wheaton has shot the ball well because of it. But I think, I mean, you can't expect them. There's a foul committed here by Knoll, I believe. But you can't expect them, I mean, to hold a Wheaton team that's can be so explosive on offense. Like you said, you know, Smith and Tischer can both score outside of Peters. You get the ball down low to
Haynes.
The big man Haynes, and he's going to score too.
My God.
There it is again. DeVos making his presence felt. He's got 7 straight for Wheaton, 9 on the game. It is a 22-point lead for Wheaton. 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, why not make the most of this floor time? I mean, he does see 22 minutes per game. But again, he's not that go-to offensive guy for Wheaton, but here he has, I believe he's got 9 now. Let's see. Yep, he's got 9, 4 or 5 shooting for DeVos.
We have your next media timeout under 8 minutes. We're 7:56 to play. 22-point Wheaton advantage. We'll be back in just a moment. With 7 and 56 to play. 22-point lead for Wheaton. Wheaton, if they can hang on to this lead, will advance to the field of 16, and which will not be located here in Holland, Michigan. We'll go back to the drawing board for a location. And for Penn State, they have just a few seniors on their team. Casey Cornine and Shane Scully, the lone two seniors, who, if cannot erase a 22-point deficit, will be playing their last collegiate basketball game. It is Cornine to inbound. He goes up top to Skelly. Skelly, the basket is good.
Great play there. I like the call by Coach Nyland there. Get the team an easy bucket. And again, here's it's like a, what kind of zone is this? 1-2-2-ish, it looks like.
Or an extended 3-2 maybe, as Peters and this Wheaton offense swinging the ball so well. We had a travel here, though, by Haynes as Peters was jumping around, not giving him a firm target to throw to.
A little flustered there by Haynes. Get a whole new defense thrown at you. Can confuse you.
This is interesting, James. We have a 20-point lead here for Wheaton. And with that 20-point lead, you would assume that your star, your best player, best shooter at least, would be in charge of the deficit in Penn State's favor. And you look, he's not even in the top 2 of scorers right now. As Scully goes down low and he scores it, 4 straight for him. But I believe Peters is second on this team in scoring, or third maybe, even behind DeMoss.
Yep, DeMoss has 9, Peters 11.
Okay.
But again, you'd think the score like this, Peter would be in the 20-point range, right around there. But man, he's been doing it all.
And that's got to make Coach Schauer real excited.
Oh yeah.
The depth and players answering the call to score.
See what Wallace can do here in transition. He'll hold it up though.
We're going to have to see an incredible shooting performance out of Behrend if they want to get back into this. Threes of plenty. There's Cornine. He goes down to Scully. Scully. Ball gets tipped by Haynes. Haynes to Peters. We have 6:30 to play. A 18-point Wheaton advantage. Peters checks from deep. It ties against it. It is Moss for 3. DeMoss for 3. It is no good. Rebounded by Haynes. Haynes draws contact. No foul call. He's upset, but he finds the bucket. Back up to 20, I believe.
That gave Haynes a double-double.
That gave Haynes a double-double. You are right.
Double-double machinery. 10 and 10 now for Haynes.
Scully trying to get DeLizio to get the ball up top. He gets the ball to Wallace. Wallace is going to attack from here. He looks down, finds Noel. Noel bobbles the pass. It bounces off the backboard, and it is Peters.
It's kind of an errant pass there by Wallace. Fired it down pretty hard through the hands of his teammate.
Tischer gets the double team out of this zone. The zone has not been very effective tonight for Penn State, but they do have to mix it up. It is going to be Tischer for 3. No good. Rebound offensive by Peters. Peters is going to get fouled there.
Little grunt there from Peters too to get the foul call, but it did look like he got hammered down low. Are they going to give him 2 shots here?
Yeah.
I thought he was just looking to bring it back out. I don't know about you, Case.
Well, we look at Peters' stat line, 11 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds.
Yep.
As the free throw attempt is good. It's going to be Hackett to check in for Noel.
Peters gets to the line a lot, 259 attempts coming into tonight's game, but like I said earlier, 2 of 11 in last night's first-round game against Rose-Hulman, but here he is now 4 of 4 on the night. It's a way to bounce back.
It's going to be DeLizio trying to get something to work for this Penn State Behrend team. 5:23 to play. 22-point Wheaton advantage.
You got to get shots up here.
Yep.
You're the Lions.
Wallace to DeLizio. DeLizio is out at about 28, 30 feet away from the bucket. A roll by Hackett, a swing to Cornine. Going to decide against the three-pointer. He's going to get a body call on Caleb DeMoss. But you're right. I mean, they milk 25 seconds on the shot clock there. I mean, with the 22-point deficit, it's going to have to be, you're going to have to look to score within the first 10 seconds of every offensive possession.
I would say so, too. And try some way to get DeLizio a shot here. But again, he's been hounded, too. Peter's been all over him.
Yeah, credit the defense.
Yeah, Smith has given him a couple looks, too.
Skelly down low. Quick spin move. That's blocked by Smith. He goes up again. He's going to get the bucket. No. The foul. Ball finds just about every part of the rim and bounces out. He's going to go to the line.
Skelly still playing tough. I like that from the senior. He knows. He wants to go out on a high note here as high as he can. Could be personal. It could be.
The first free throw good by Skelly.
He's approaching 10 now. 9 points for Skelly. Looking for his 10th.
The second one is no good. We're going to have
the lane violation. On Scully? Skelly?
Yeah, I believe so. Chris Tedzinski's going to check in for Penn State. It is Tischer. All four of the 5 starters in for Wheaton. The 4th being Caleb DeMoss, who in his own respect does get a good amount of playing time. It's going to be Peters with 15 on the shot clock. He swings to DeMoss and finds a bench player wide open. That ball's going to be out of bounds, however.
I think DeMoss made a little last-second movement that kind of threw off that whole possession. Peters saw him open on the left corner, but DeMoss made a move while the ball was in air.
Skelly's going to check back into the game. It's going to be Skelly and Hackett both in at the same time. And this is kind of a lineup that I've been waiting to see all night, but it doesn't seem to be too common.
No.
I hate to be an offensive player trying to score on both those guys.
Good luck.
And there it is, Skelly to Hackett. 2 points is good. 19-point lead, 4 and 8 to play for Wheaton.
Two-man game between the 6'7" and 6'9" forwards. You like to see that. Good luck there by Skelly.
It is Peters to swing to Tischer. Tischer dribbles into the zone, brings it back out. He's going to try and get it to Peters, and he does. Peters to dribble with 14 on the shot clock. It's going to be Tischer for 3. No. Rebound collected by Delizio. Delizio looking here to push maybe a little bit with 3 and 38 to play. Delizio gets a screen from Hackett. Passes the ball. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Caleb DeVos. Off his knee, Penn State ball. We're going to have a media timeout here in DeVos Fieldhouse. A score of Wheaton Thunder 57, Penn State Behrend 38. 2, 3, and 32 remain.
At Hope, it's mind, body, and spirit. Hope. We live for this.
And we're back here in DeVos Fieldhouse. I'm Casey Rutledge. Alongside me for tonight's action is my partner, James Rogers.
Case, interesting little stat here. Keith Wallace and Cornine combined for 18 points in that first half for Penn State Behrend, and they're combined for just 2 points here in the second half. And if you want to stay in this game against a tough Wheaton defense, you got to see that scoring from those two guys. And Skelly now up to 10 points for the Lions. Man, I was hoping to see a little more production from Cornine, and maybe that's because Delizio has been in for, I think, this whole half. Again, Delizio not finding any sort of production, still at 0 points.
If you're Coach Schauer for the Wheaton Thunder, you have to be ecstatic after a game like this. I mean, Behrend at a dangerously low score, below 40. We're nearly 37 minutes into this game, and it hasn't even been necessarily via the turnover. Relatively low turnover amount at 10 turnovers. I mean, but you're a team that's shooting 38%, and at that, you're just not getting that many shots up.
No.
12 of 39, 3 of 10 from 3. They're making their free throws when they get there. But yeah, I mean, Wheaton is frustrating them beyond belief. Certainly in the second half, I think it was 25 points in the first half. They got just 13 here in the second, and it's coming, like you said, I mean, 10 of those 38 are from Skelly, your senior. You have, your guards not scoring a ton. We have 8 out of Wallace, 10 out of Wallace, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a case of maybe Wheaton, and you think it's interesting for Wheaton, a team that it appears right now scouted this Penn State Behrend team very well, but maybe that's not even the case. I mean, you have a not even a day layover. It's games back to back, a couple hours in between. I'm just impressed at the way that this Wheaton defense has been able to bother Penn State.
I am too. I think another, oh wow.
Oh my. Haynes gets all sorts of ball there as he swats Skelly. Skelly falls to the floor.
Looks like Haynes himself is in pain after that one. My
gosh.
gosh.
Look at this block here on the replay. He actually took an elbow right off the throat. Was able to swat the ball there right out of midair.
How about the rebounding advantage too? 36-22 in favor of the Thunder.
Yeah.
That's big.
Wheaton controlling absolutely every aspect of this game. DeMoss in the corner. He loves to shoot it, and he loves to score it as well.
Why not?
Why not
fire it up?
Yeah.
I know you have the 19-point lead there, but you're wide open in the left corner. DeMoss has been hot. He's got 12 now. The fourth Thunder man to be in double digits.
Yeah, we have points across the board, points aplenty. Tischer with 14, Peters with 13, Haynes with 10, a double-double, 10 and 10 rebounds, and now DeMoss with 12. An incredible scoring output and balanced scoring at that for everybody involved in Wheaton.
Steal there by Peters. Again, his defensive presence too, just all around. He's what we'd call a five-tool man.
This Wheaton team playing a bit of keep away. Penn State Behrend running around. It is Haynes down low. Haynes, go ahead and chalk up 2 more there. And he does have 12, the double-double, 12 points, but those are 12 huge points because looking at him, the score there, I feel like he's got 25. Man.
He really does. He is tough, and he goes right at the big men, Skelly and Hackett, and there's no fear there. I don't know what we got here. Just a whistle. Looked like a timeout coming, but we got seniors.
We're gonna clear the benches for both teams.
There you go.
For Penn State Behrend.
Classy move by Coach Nyland there.
Yeah.
Penn State Behrend. Let the Behrend faithful get a standing O for the seniors who have given so much to this program.
It's Hackett, Dudzinski, Garbowski, Pullian, and Davik in for Penn State Behrend. Pullian, the 2-pointer is good. Interesting, I mean, not to see him. He played 14 minutes in the first half. And he was somewhat effective on the offensive end. I think he had a couple threes, maybe a few layups in there too. But I mean, and now, he just had that 1-3, but he's got 5 right now. But he was applying so much ball pressure. I love the way he was kind of rolling with that defense. They cut the defensive pressure, cut the lead to 2. And then you see, kind of Coach Nyland going away from him the entire second half.
Right. But again, he's a bright spot for this squad. He's just a freshman. He's got 3 strong years ahead of him.
For Wheaton, it is Joel Smith at the top of the key.
Oh!
Kyle Crow. Kyle off the bench and into the bucket. 3 more for him.
Dagger. He's only played in 7 games this year, and he comes right off the bench to give Wheaton a 25-point lead now.
Yeah, 3-pointer, his first of the night, first 3, 25-point lead. We're under a minute.
Yeah, first 3 of the season for him, too.
Yeah.
1 of 2 now.
Good for him. Hackett, the spin move, no good. It is DeMoss to get the rebound. DeMoss, we have a 14-second differential in shot and game clock, and that's going to be it. A huge victory for Wheaton as they are going to advance. Penn State Behrend is going to go home, back to Pennsylvania.
Oh, my gosh.
It is Joel Smith for 2.
Let me check
3, actually.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. What's he at?
He was 10 of 26 coming into the night. So give him his 11th 3 on the season. Oh, my goodness.
William swings. It's tipped by Smith. Smith gets it to Fisher. 18 here to play, and that's going to do it as they are going to dribble out the clock. An incredible game by Wheaton as they took control and won by 28. And we tip our caps to Penn State Behrend, showing a great effort on both ends, just not able to put it all together tonight. It is a final score of 68 for Wheaton Thunder and 40 for Penn State Behrend. And if we look towards the stat sheet one last time, it was the Wheaton defense in control.
It really was. Held Penn State Behrend to 30% shooting, 13 of 43 for the Lions. And look at the second half total concerning points, 41-15 in favor of Wheaton. So just a blowout in the second half. It was a 2-point game at halftime, Casey, and you look at 41 points scored by the Thunder in 20 minutes of second half action to give them a 28-point victory here, and they're moving on. Sweet 16 style, right?
And I wouldn't be surprised to see this Wheaton team, like you said. I mean, they did have 8 losses, but man, it's got to be ironic. I mean, it's funny. It's got to be the best 8-loss team in all the nation.
Got to believe it.
But they are going to advance. I'd love to hear them make some noise in the rest of the way.
And this is cool here too. The teams gathering together for a prayer at midcourt. You like that,
Class by both teams.
Oh yes.
Well, that's going to do it here in DeVos Fieldhouse, Holland, Michigan, home of the Hope College Flying Dutch. A final here, Wheaton College 68, Penn State Behrend 40. I'm Casey Rutledge. Alongside me today, my partner, James Rogers. We thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. We're going to go here to the trophy presentation.
And I guess If we're still on air here too, let's go through some of the Wheaton stats that we saw. 14 points leading the way. Braden Tischer for the Thunder, right around a season average of 15. And again, his sweet stroke was on display, 3 of 5 from three-point land. In case we talked about the do-it-all combo guard, forward, whatever you want to call him, Tyler Peters, 13 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Stayed out of foul trouble too with just 1 foul. And then Big Boy Haynes, 12 and 10 for the Thunder, 12 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, what I love to see out of him was his ability to get back on to the free throw line. He did only shoot 4 free throws, but he made good of all 4 of those after an anemic 2 of 11 shooting last night. We saw him against Rose Holman.
Yep, and again, the rebounding, we talked about that. Plus 14 for Wheaton, 37-23.
Well, we got the cue. That is going to be all from here from James and I in DeVos Fieldhouse. We will follow up with the trophy presentation. Thank you very much for listening to us at hope.edu/live. And we personally will see you guys next time. Thank you very much.